Friday, May 16th, and welcome to Weekend Adventures Workshop Scrapbook Card Kit class. So that's a big mouthful to say. I should come up with a good acronym for it or something. But you guys are gonna love this kit. It's something completely different than we played with in a while because everything has been a little more feminine, I guess, and this is definitely for you outdoors lovers, for the guys in your life. This is going to be a great kit, and I hope you guys are super excited to play with this. So I'm going to make sure I can see you guys on my phone here. Here we go. Let's see who's watching. Say hello. Carmen's here. Yay. Franz and Angelique. Hello, ladies. I am so happy to have you here. So I'm going to flip the camera around and show you guys what I'm talking about, because if you haven't seen the new annual catalog, or maybe you missed it, I don't know, but we have this Weekend Adventures kit, and this is the kit that we are playing with today. It is amazing, and you guys are gonna love the projects that I have for you today. So it's all about kind of the outdoors. You can be camping. It's a really cool kit, and of course Stampin' Up! Provides you with their own version of what you should make with this kit, but I give you alternatives. So we're gonna make 6 alternatives today along with 5 cards. So give you a sneak peek before we get started. Look at this. And so I brought in to coordinate with this. So there is a stamp set that coordinates with this. And it is called Weekend Adventures. So this is the stamp set. There's no dies or anything like that, but this is the stamp set that coordinates with it. So it has some cool sayings that you could stamp on. A little bit of flowers, a coffee mug. You could stamp on the coffee mug. These are really small sentiments that you could put right on the coffee mug. And then I also brought in Scenic Adventures. And Scenic Adventures is where I'm pulling these mountains from, the trees from. So you'll see a lot of these 2 things are brought into the kits. So, and this comes, like I said, this one comes with dies. This one does not, but they work really well together. So hello, Linda. It's cold in Manitoba. It's not cold here in Wisconsin. I don't know what it is. It's probably in the 70s somewhere. The sun is shining right now, but we've had kind of like little showers going back and forth today. So we'll see what happens. So we have this. We have this, and oh my goodness, if you guys have not seen Scenic Adventures, there is this little tiny, and I had to put this in here, little itty bitty campfire in here. So it's got 2 little logs, and then we have the campfire there. And I had to incorporate that into this because I just thought it was so cute. We've got this one, and this one. Okay, so this class is a product-based class. It's a $70 order through me. You'll need to have this kit. So you'll either need to add it to your order for this kit, or if you have this kit already, you can order $70 of whatever you need. Glues, dimensionals, whatever you need. Or if you want to get the bundle and add that to your order, you can do that too. So let's bring in the kit. We'll get started because this is a long class. And I'll do the chit-chatting in between. How's that sound? So anyone have plans for the weekend? Anyone? So in these packages, you get 2-tone cardstock. And I did not know, I guess I was not aware, and I looked in the annual catalog again, that the vanilla comes in 2-tone. I did not realize that. So here is the vanilla 2-tone. So you can see it's a little more yellowy on this side and a little bit, I guess, lighter and brighter on this side. And you're gonna get 2 sheets of basic beige. There's also another sheet of vanilla along with Misty Moonlight and Old Olive, 1 sheet of each 2-tone. But I'm going to bring in the vanilla, and I'm going to use the lighter side. You could use either side for this page. There's this beautiful wood DSP. So there's two different woods. There's a light wood and then there's this darker wood. So I've got that, and I've got a strip that I'm going to lay across here. And I have a bunch of photo slots. So these are like 3x4 photos. And we're laying them out like so. And what I like to do, just to make sure I kind of have things centered, is I'll bring in a ruler. Usually I eyeball things pretty good, but this way, that looks pretty good right there. So now I know where to put my strip, and that's what I'm going to put on first. How many of you ordered this kit already or have Scenic Adventures? Okay, so that's in the middle. And then we'll place these evenly, or as even as we can get them. I know sometimes so the colors in this kit are, they brought in Old Olive, Mossy Meadow, Black, Cajun Craze, did I say Misty Moonlight? Yeah, your basic beige, your vanilla, espresso, and then I'm going to flip it over just because it would be easier for me to reach. And if I get off screen, let me know, guys. Hello, Jeannie. How are you? Angelique, I heard some storms are maybe going through St. Louis. I don't remember how close you are to St. Louis, or if you're, I can't quite remember where you are actually. I heard some tornadoes went through. We actually had some storms that went through yesterday, so I might not be completely prepared, which happens a lot, but it might be a little bit more than normal because we lost our power yesterday. We were fine. Lots of rain and hail, a little bit of hail and things like that, but surrounding communities, we have a town that's like 20 minutes from us. I think I heard that they declared a state of emergency. They were hit with a tornado. So I hope everyone is safe out there. I have a cousin who lives in Mayville, and I checked in on her, and all is well with her. And she said her husband at his work had some hail damage done to his vehicle, but nothing major. So that's good, as long as everyone is safe. But I saw a lot of houses ruined with trees on top and stuff, so it's an awful thing to go through. So I thought, I didn't show you guys these before, but here are you get 2 sheets of die cuts that go in there. So you have this sheet and this sheet. And then here is our sticker sheet. Yes, tornadoes, Angelique. Yeah, so be careful. I hope you're being safe tonight. So those are our sticker sheets and little dies. So in that sticker sheet was this little strip right here. And I'm actually going to cut this down, but I will cut it down once I grab some mountains here. And I forgot, so I forgot to bring this die with me. I had to do a little bit of die cutting when I got here, but I forgot this die. But I have this piece here that's actually gonna go over our mountains, but I don't have it here. So it's gonna be what it's gonna be, but you know, it happens. Actually, I'm just gonna cut this in half. I'll do that. And I'm gonna add this little strip. Like that. And I'm gonna do it on the other side. Okay, then we are going to add our circles. So one is a die cut and one is a circle. And you guys know that I love to pop everything up, so that's what we're gonna do. So it says take to the trails and travel on foot. So I'm gonna put one up a little bit higher, like so. And then I'm going to put this one down a little bit lower. Then we'll bring in our mountains, and I'm just going to pop up the top of my mountains just to give them a little bit of dimension. But then I will glue the rest down. So are you guys excited to have a more manly kit? I shouldn't say a manly kit, but something that's a little bit, well, it is a manly kit, but outdoorsy kit. Something that, you know, is a little bit different than, let's say, flowers and things like that. I love this kit. I really, really do. Okay. That is all that I have for this page, minus the strip of trees. And there are lots of goodies, so I thought maybe at the end I'll see what goodies I have left, and maybe we'll just add some extra elements here and there. I was going to do that to mine, but you know, I was kind of working on this stuff last minute. So this is page number 1. And the gems that are going to come with this kit are going to be the matte dots. So I thought these would be really great to incorporate, and it has all the colors. So there's pecan pie, basic beige, black, and white. And you could take your basic beige and your white dots and color them with a blend if you wanted, let's say, Cajun craze or espresso or mossy green or old olive. And for our next one, you need another strip of this wood DSP. I have it cut already, I just gotta find it in my piles. I might be cutting another one. had too many piles, you guys. A pile over here, a pile over there, here, there, and everywhere. All right, we're just gonna cut a new piece, and then it will reappear magically, unless anyone sees it. Okay. I hear thunder rumbling in the distance here, so it looks like we're gonna have some more weather coming our way. Okay, so then what I do is I bring that piece of paper back in, or that scrapbook page I just did, and I will line these up, because I'm always picturing when I make my layouts that my pictures, if you open a book, they're gonna be side by side. That's how I create. And then for the pages, like let's say the front cover, I'll make a special page for that. But normally when I create 2 pages together, and as if when you flipping the book through, they're gonna be side by side. So when you have things like this, I would prefer not to open my book and have my strips kind of wonky here. So we're gonna connect those like that. Make sure they're both at about the same. Oops, I'm getting glue happy. I have sticky fingers, that'll mean I'm working hard, right? Okay. Now, we have some more Misty Moonlight mats. We're going to print one like that. This one's going to go about there. And this one is going to go let's hope that we don't lose any power here while we're live today. Okay, so that's where our mats are going to go. Hello, Polly. How's the weather by you? I hope Christine is enjoying her time at Disney right now. I am a little bit jealous, I will say. I love Disney, and we have not been there in a while, so lots of new things are there than from the last time I was there. I was there in 2016, so my kids were like babies then. Okay, so now we have our mats down. There is a die that has a strip that says The Great Outdoors. And I brought a piece of Cajun Craze, but I think I didn't cut this one the right size. Good thing the trimmer is nice and handy. And then I am going to banner my ends. So when we banner, we cut up the middle, and then we cut both sides in. And then you make sure that it doesn't look completely crooked, because that's happened before. It's 84 in the Carolinas, and thunderstorms are coming soon. Okay, so we've bannered our ends. This will go over the top. And then we're going to bring in a little bit of the basic beige ribbon. So this banner is actually shorter. Oops. The Cajun Craze banner is shorter than the black. So that was done on purpose. And I always use my tear tape with ribbon. You don't ever really, and people do use it, but you don't want to use liquid glue when putting on ribbon because sometimes it can bleed through and make your ribbon look wet. And I'm going to cheat because we don't need a long piece underneath here because we don't even see it. So I'm just going to cut off some pieces for the ends here. Just enough that it shows through. And then I'll flip this over and I will just angle cut. France, you can't hear the thunder. It's not thundering now, but it is raining pretty good out there. I guess it's a good night to put on a movie and, oh, you can hear the thunder. Oh, yeah, it's a good night, I think. I think that's what's going to happen when we get home. Go home, put a movie on, and how about some popcorn, kids? Yeah. Kiddos are here. I just picked them up from school, and I fed them so they didn't get hangry while they were sitting here. They start crawling the walls. Instead of cats on the video, we would have kids in the video going, "Mom, I'm starving." Okay, so we put that label there, and then I have these wonderful trees. I can't get enough of these trees. It is thundering. Yes, France, you are right. It is thundering here, but it stopped for a moment, but now it's pouring, and we got a little bit of everything. It's pouring, it's thundering. We'll see if we get hail. Yesterday we had hail. We didn't get it out so bad by us, but my son is about 20 minutes where he lives, and he said they had very large hail out by them. So we're gonna put one up here. I'll have to play back and see what you can hear on your end through the video. Hopefully it'll be done pouring when we're done here tonight. I never think to bring or to cover my stuff really good, so I don't have any page protectors on any of my pages and stuff, and I don't have any jacket or anything like that, so I have nothing to keep things dry. And I can always keep things here at Christine's, but hate to ruin a project. Okay, there it is. So now you're going to grab 2 more dies. One is a large, actually they're 2 large circle, but one is a journal piece. So we have this, and it's got some pretty stitched, so it's like Mossy Meadow with some old olive stitching, and then some journaling. So we're going to glue those together. And then I thought I didn't want to leave this so blank right here, so I'm going to bring in crumb cake. And in the Weekend Adventures stamp set here is this little speckled a stamp. I'm going to bring that in. And we're going to stamp that on the bottom here. Oh my goodness. So Gina is having thunderstorms by her, and her poor dogs are scared. So she has to blast the TV in order to cover up the thunder, and she can also hear the thunder coming through on here. So her poor dogs are getting like double duty here. Oh my goodness. So I'm just taking this stamp set and turning it in different directions. I don't need to worry about doing the center of it because that's going to primarily be covered up by our circle piece. Jeannie, are your dogs afraid of fireworks too? I know a lot of dogs, that bothers them also. So I'm just going to put a little bit more in through here. Like that. So that's all we're going to do with that. And I think that it's nice that this just, those little speckles there help fill in this little spot here. So we're gonna put some more trees. There's gonna be lots of trees. I hope you guys like these trees because there are trees on just about every page. And I'm trying to think, probably cards too. If it's not a tree, there's mountains. The mountains are calling. So that's gonna go like that. And that's all I have for now for this page. But like I said, there's lots of little pieces that are left over, and I might go through and just tuck in some of those pieces as we go. And of course, don't forget to add the gems. Okay, so now we're gonna bring in our basic beige. And with that extra vanilla piece, where did I put the extra vanilla piece? Ay, ay, ay. It's hiding right here. I thought I put it over there, but I didn't. So I'm going to put a piece of vanilla here. You don't have to do this, but in this layout, we're going to put three 4x6 pictures side by side. It's just easier for me to, because I don't have pictures, to line this up by just putting this down. So that's what I use this extra piece of vanilla for. And remember, you have two sides, so you can use either side. Oh, you're lucky that you're not too close to fireworks. At least the poor dogs don't get it too bad then on the 4th of July. My parents' dogs would always, my parents didn't have central air, but they had a window unit, and they would always put the dogs in the bedroom, turn the window unit up, and turn the fan on in the room, and turn the TV on the room, all to like keep the noise down, because they got a lot of fireworks in their neighborhood, and their poor dogs would just shake and shake and shake. So we're gonna use these 2 border stickers here. First, we're gonna glue this down and hopefully get it down the center of our page. And hopefully, I don't always, I've been doing it right now, but normally I don't put glue all the way to my edges, because if you guys ever notice, I like to tuck things. I'm a tucker versus a lay it down kind of girl. I don't know if that makes any sense to any of you, but I like to tuck things in. As you guys can see, I forgot to cut a lot of my DSP strips. And this is coming from this kit, but I still have plenty left over at home to make another kit. So you get a lot of bang with these kits. Okay, so I just cut 2 strips of this black and white stripe. And I'm going to lay that on both ends before I put the 2 Cajun Craze sticker sheets. Linda, you're in Kaukauna. It's 76 and sunny, so you're waiting to see if the storm heads your way. We shall see. Did you get hit with any of the storms last night? And I'm leaving a little bit of a gap because I know that my Cajun Craze sticker is gonna go cover that. Okay, so now we're gonna add our 2 stickers. And I want to be able to tuck, whoops, some tags in. So I just want this to line up next to the vanilla and not over the top of it. That way I can tuck underneath. I'm giving myself a shadow. I can't see my line here. Okay guys, so tell me, favorite new items in the new annual catalog or online exclusives. Tell me your favorite items. Okay, you're gonna have 2 mountains here in your kit, and we're just gonna put them on the ends like this. I have to say, I have not gotten them yet. I mean, I really love this kit, I will say. The scenic adventures, I love the mountains and trees and things like that. But I have not gotten them yet, but I cannot wait to get the party dies. And the party dies are two different dies. They're bundled together. And one is a set of letters, and these letters are huge. They're almost 3 inches, I believe, tall. And then all sorts of different banners. So I haven't gotten that set yet, but I am very excited about those. They'll be used a lot. We'll just say that much. Now you could, if you wanted to, take a blending brush and add some color to your mountains if you wanted to. And now I have this Explore sticker. And you definitely don't have to pop things up like I do if you don't want to. I just like to pop everything up. You just got yours in the mail? Oh my goodness, Angelique, it is gorgeous. I'm so excited. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, I noticed Christine was making the new Be Happy guide that she forgot to put in, and it's kind of in a random spot, metallic rub-ons. So if you've overlooked those in the catalog, go and look for them, because that is going to be the technique class for June. Okay, so we have our trees, right? And I'm going to do what I usually do. I'm going to just kind of lay this on here. And then I'm going to poke some of my holes out, and then we're going to put trees on. And we're going to cut off our trees just a little bit. So your trees over here, you're going to want to cut this big tree off so it's a little bit level with the skinny tree. They're ginormous. Oh my goodness. So Angelique, you got them already. Let's see what you make with them. I was asked by some stampers here that they would like to do a class making a banner. So I don't know when I'll have that class, but we will make a banner. And I think I'm going to make it kind of a product-based class where you pick out your DSP that you want and what ribbon you want, and then we'll go from there. So I've got one tree tucked under behind Explore and one tree over here. Now you're going to do the opposite with your tree on this side, and you're going to cut both again, but remember, don't just cut like completely straight, I guess I would say, so that it doesn't look funny. Then you're going to tuck this one behind here. And I'm just using the black line here. That's what I'm using to line everything up. So then we have a sticker. And some dies. There's lots of banners in this set. Put that there so I don't lose it. I grabbed the wrong one. Here we go. So we, whoop. I dropped one and now I don't see it. Oh, I see it. It's hidden. It's hidden in here. Da, 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 da. Okay. So what I like to do with banners, I always feel banners, flags are always flying in the air. So I always pop up the ends and glue down, let's say the top or the base, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to tuck that point in, making sure that you can see the full sentiment. So it's got these really cute boots. I was hoping there'd be a stamp that matches those boots, but there wasn't. So I think that would be really a cool addition. Mary, you're really late. No, you're just fashionably late, but that's okay. I'm going to take some of this off. Mary, I bet you love this kit. This, I feel like this screams you. Okay, and then we're going to tuck this little coral one in here, but I might have to take, there we go. I just want a little bit of that coral one to come through. So, page number 3, right? Page number 3. There we go, we're rocking it tonight. So like I said, you're gonna take 3 4x6 pictures and they're gonna be one right next to the other. Then our next one, I think I'm losing papers. Oh, here it is. Ta-da! It's right there. You're also going to want your Old Olive Toon Tone. How many of you have bought the two-tone paper and are playing with it? You bought 3 of these kits plus the stamp set. Oh my goodness. She is gonna be stamping and scrapping away, ladies. It's all that camping she does when she comes here. Need to scrapbook all those shenanigans. So this is 8.5 by 8 3/4. And then I didn't cut my DSP, so I need some 2-inch squares. France, you did, but you haven't used any yet. Okay. Well, I would love to see what you guys are making with your kits. So you guys like having the alternatives like I do to give you more options on how to use the kit? to say, this is really hard for me to be cutting up this paper like this because I know that I have pieces at home that I could have cut and I wouldn't have to cut into a big 12 by 12 sheet. So any of you ever run into that where you're like, oh, you hate bringing out a new sheet and knowing that you have another piece that's already cut somewhere? Mary's glamping it in her van. I love it, Mary. See, and I think they should have had a compass too in this kit. That would have been fun. We've had compasses before, but you know, they're retired right now. Okay, so you need 8 little squares here. Oh, I need that paper again. Because we're going to use the blue side. Look at this. This is like a starry night. That's how I envision this paper, a starry night. Uh-oh, this doesn't seem right. Oh, it is right. Okay, and then we need 1 piece of vanilla for our photo. And I don't remember what I cut this at, so I could guess, but I would get it wrong maybe. I think that might be all the cutting I have to do. We shall see. Okay. Now, I think we're good for this page. I think I'm done cutting. I think. Oh no, I'm not. I lied, guys. Imagine that. Okay. So you're gonna lay out your squares. And I'm kind of doing the opposite. But I am paying attention to my DSP, what's going north, what's going south here. Okay, so that's how we're going to lay this out. But I'm going to lay my little squares down first. I'll do my 2 ends and work my way in. It's like putting a DSP sampler together. Get your squares all lined up, put glue on them, and then put them down. And I'll flip it around. Just don't flip your squares around so your trees are upside down. I almost did that before when I was making them. Okay, so these are all glued down. And then we're gonna glue this down. There we go. And then before we put this down, we have our mountains here. And I cut this one a little bit big, but that's okay. So lay that at the bottom, and then you can cut off any extra. All right. I'm supposed to have 2 mountains for this. I only have 1. Oh no, I did this right. I just had more, a taller mountain. I assumed I did them all the same. That's what happens when you assume. You don't always get it right. Okay. Then of course we're gonna bring in some more of our trees. I love trees, trees, trees. Especially when we have trees that have all of this nice detail on it. Oh my goodness. And one thing I of course forgot to cut for this kit because I was in a hurry was in the dies there is a little itty bitty, it'll poke out, like if you had a solid sheet it'll poke out little stars, but then there's this little tiny moon. Look at, isn't he adorable? I think he's adorable. And then to go with our little moon comes our little campfire that I think is so cute. Okay. Now I want to have a s'mores. There we go. So you'll have your little moon. Now your moon is really, really tiny, so you're really going to have to dig for it. So there we go. There's that. Then of course we have another sticker. And that's gonna go down here. Life is better outdoors. Like that. There's these cute stars. The nice thing that Stampin' Up! Does tell you on the back, I don't know if you guys notice on some of these, especially the die cuts, this one's a die cut, they tell you on the back of them which layout they go to. So they'll say project 1, 2, and in the directions it tells you specifically what each code kind of is. So that comes in handy if you want to follow the kit. So I'm putting that down there. And there's a little heart. That I'll put here. So there's that, and don't forget your gems, okay? Oh, when I look on the TV screen, this looks a little crooked, but I think we're gonna leave it. It looks like it's stuck pretty well. Okay, so there's that. So now we're down to our last 2 pages, and we're gonna bring in this wood DSP in the kit. When I get the class, is this cut out for me? Do you mean your DSP or what are you asking, Mary? Do you mean the DSP or do you mean the mountains and things like that? If you mean the DSP you will have to cut. I do provide you with cardstock, like all your mats and stuff. This will all be cut for you. This is die cut. This is actually in the Notes and Totes dies. You can make a little fence. This is one of the fence posts. So we're going to use that on this page. So you'll get a tutorial, and in the tutorial it'll tell you what the dimensions are of. Yes, the trees and mountains will be cut. They're all die cut for you. So you'll get lots of trees and several sets of mountains. So any of the DSP that is cut, you will have to cut that yourself. So for those of you who haven't gotten a kit from me before, you also get, so you get an additional kit from me. So Stampin' Up! Has their kit that they made, but when you order your kit through me, I make an additional kit for you. So the additional kit comes with all of the extras. So any mats, any cardstock pieces, any die cuts, ribbons, gems, that's an addition. Plus, we're making 5 cards with this. So the 5 cards, you'll have the card bases and all of that. You'll just have to cut any of the DSP for those cards. So I'm not going to quite center this. One of them I'm going to put slightly to the right, and the other one I'm going to put slightly to the left. You could center yours if you would like. Okay, now we're going to bring in our 4 mats for our pictures. Now you don't have to use these mats if you don't want to. You can use them for something else, but there is something that I like. I like to have mats for my photos. I I feel like it kind of finishes off my photos, but it's completely up to you. And two, you might have to modify this based on your pictures. Maybe you want a bigger picture because of, you know, what's in the background or whatever that you want to see. So feel free to, you know, take these and do what you want with them. And your pictures may be horizontal versus vertical. Completely up to you to make this yours, and you can use the mats, not use the mats. That is completely up to you. So here is another die cut. So I put that in the middle just so I know where to put my mats. So sometimes they make the DSP and these kits slightly different than the DSP and the DSP pack. This kit, I believe all of the papers are the same, and you can order a sticker sheet, or the sticker sheet comes with it. So it's either the kit or the DSP with the sticker sheet is what you can order. Now some kits have a DSP pack, with stickers, and the workshop kit. So you just have to make sure you pay attention to that when you order, that you understand what you're getting, because I know sometimes it's confusing because they all look the same kind of, but there are ones that have 3 different types of DSP. So like I said, the DSP that comes with the scrapbook workshop kit, DSP with the sticker sheet, and just DSP. Just note that sometimes you have specialty papers in the workshop kits that are not the same as the DSP pack. But I believe when Chris and I were looking at this one comes with the sticker sheet and all of the papers are the same. Okay, so we have this. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you guys. If you have any questions, of course, reach out. Okay, so we have our title in there. We've got more trees. Anyone doing anything fun this weekend? I have the in-person version of this on Sunday, but otherwise this weekend I think is going to be filled with tilling up the garden and weeding and cutting grass and doing all sorts of that kind of fun outdoorsy stuff, as long as the weather cooperates. So we're going to put some trees there. Then we have a bunch of banner stickers here. So I'm going to bring in a linen thread. And we're going to use 3 banners on each corner. Whoops. Okay, and I'm going to start off, I'm going to put dimensionals. probably shouldn't put all these on my hands. We'll see how talented I am, right? If I can keep stickers on my fingers and add dimensionals and what size is my white? Do you mean the white on the last, the white matte on the previous page? Where we made almost like a sampler? Is that what you're saying, France? Okay. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna put this off to the side because I can't do thread with this.
Do you want us to take this with us?
Yeah, that way Dad has food. You guys headed out?
Dad said he's on his way.
Okay. Ooh, it's gonna get real quiet in here, guys. The kiddos are gonna be off.
Everyone's been quiet.
Well, yeah, you've been quiet, but I can hear little computer stuff and clicking and a mother's ears can hear all sorts of things, Bella.
And how come you can't hear me in the other room?
Well, that's different.
No, that's the exact same.
They're always called selective hearing.
Okay, then it's then I don't have to repeat myself.
It depends how bad you want something.
No, you said it's selective hearing, so I guess I don't.
Oh, no, see, you guys are seeing the little sass that can come out in my little girl.
I'm just restating what you said.
Mary, Bella's up for hire, remember. She's actually, she's going to my aunt's house right now. She's going to go clean for my aunt. She gets to go scrub baseboards and fun things like that. So Mary said she was picking you up in June, Bella. She was taking you with. I said it was perfect timing because it was the end of school.
For what?
That she was going to take you home with her and so you can clean with her. Okay, so I'm going to take those linen thread ends and fold them over. And I'm using tear tape. You could use Scotch tape at home, but I always keep the backings on. That way they slide in and out of your page protectors. That's the word I was looking for. Now I almost feel like I should get the little camper stamp set. I believe it's still in the online exclusive. There's a little camper stamp set with dies. That would go perfect with this set. That's how Stampin' Up! Gets me to buy more, right? Does that work with all of you guys? But that's the thing that I probably love most about Stampin' Up! Is how everything coordinates. Has Bella been to South Dakota? Not yet. We've not made it west with the kids yet. As far west as she's been has been
Texas.
That's south.
well, you know, Texas is like west of us, yes, but I would say just Minnesota, our neighboring state of Minnesota. They've done a lot of south, lots of Florida, Tennessee, been to Texas. We did Carolinas. But it's definitely on our bucket list. We'd like to take the kids to like Yellowstone and Glenn would like to go to Montana. He's been to Montana and he loves it out there. So one of these days, Bella can check off her bucket list next year. She goes to Hawaii with choir. I can't say I shouldn't say. I went to Spain when I was her age. But I went to Hawaii. My husband's brother got married there. So that was my one opportunity to for sure get to Hawaii. So there we go. We've got our 2 banners, and then we're going to bring in that little post. Yes, they've been lucky. They've traveled. They've gotten to travel places. Mary, I've got to get that pool ready for you too. So we're going to put our little post here, and then I believe these are all little punched out little sentiments. I say the same thing, Mary. I wanted to go to Hawaii with her, and she's like, you can, but she didn't really seem excited that her mom would go on that trip. You want Mary to go with you instead? She wants no spies. She wants to be independent. But her mom will be calling her all the time. So the nature walk one is the longest one, so I'm putting that kind of straight in the middle. And then the other ones I'm going to make kind of angled. So go like that. So we have unwind. And explore. So that's it for this page. Da da da. We got one more page to go. And now this one is going to go slightly to the left, so opposite what I did on the other page. We're going to lay our mats like this. Mary, have you been to Hawaii? I will say I would love to go back, but I would love to see. We just went to Oahu when we went. So I would love to go see some of the other islands. Gina, you're liking the signpost. I do too. I feel like when you're on a trail, you see posts like that all over, and I love that. I will say this was Glenn's idea, actually. He came up with the post, the fence post from the Notes and Totes. Bye, guys. So that's where that post idea came from. That was all Glenn, so I'll give him some bonus points for that. So So you were there in 79, so I bet a lot has changed since you were there, Mary. I know my parents went when I was a teenager, and that was shortly, I feel like there must have been a hurricane on one of the islands. I forget which island it was, but the island, there wasn't much to do on that island, so they didn't end up staying there long because so much of it had been destroyed. I have a coworker, her family is from Hawaii, so she goes at least every other year, sometimes more, so I live vicariously through her when she goes to visit her family. I would say that's the great thing about Facebook is being able to watch people like Christine on the trip and just see everyone's travels, you know, wherever they're going. I see pictures of different places. And so we're gonna tuck this little heart off to the side here. And then there's a journal piece and a log that is part of the die cuts. I'm gonna put that there. Pop this bad boy up. So we got our little log here. And then I've got some baby trees. The white mat was 5 1/4 by 4. Mary, you're living through your daughter's adventures. I will be living through my daughter's too. Hopefully she takes lots of cool pictures and not just selfies. It'd be interesting to hear. She's doing a lot of the same things that we did when we were in Hawaii. They're doing a lot in the week that they're there. They're gonna go see Diamond Head. So they're going to Oahu. They're going to Diamond Head. They'll do the Polynesian Cultural Center, a luau. I think the Dole Plantation's on there. Pearl Harbor, and I think they're hoping to sing at Pearl Harbor is one of their goals. Not sure what else is on there, but the one thing I am jealous of, is they are going to have a beach day where they can swim with sea turtles. I think that would be so cool. When we took the kids to North Carolina, it was hatching season for the sea turtle, so I was really hoping to see a hatching while we were there, but no such luck. Okay, then we have a few banners that we're gonna put on this page. So we've got these little banner pieces here. This is the one I was looking for. Okay. I will have to say, I'm surprised I never see dimensionals in my laundry. That or it's clogging up my laundry and I don't realize it yet, but that's one thing that I am a little surprised at. Oops. Do any of you find them in your laundry? So we're going to tuck that in there. We're going to bring the green one in here and kind of tuck it underneath and bring in this one and put it slightly over the top like that. So we've got them all layered in there. So there, we've made all 6 layouts. I have lots of pieces left over that we could add. So one we'll be using some of them for the cards, but you'll see we still have plenty of pieces left over that you can add and stick in places. Okay, so that's all 6 pages. Who's ready for some cards? It's kind of fun, you know, I do masculine cards, but you don't do them as much as, let's say, you do a floral card or anything like that. So it was kind of fun just kind of doing all masculine cards. So here are our 5 cards today. And let's see which one I grab first. I think I have it out already. Ooh, Faisy, you love the camper set and you've played with it a lot. You love the 3 you saw. Well, you'll see all 6 in the end. Yay, cards. Mary's excited now. She's ready to do cards. She's ready to do scrapbooking too, but she's ready to do cards too. Okay, so I use gray granite. So we've got gray granite and a piece of our DSP. You're from Canada, but you have been to South Padre with your camper, Memphis, New Orleans, Arizona, and loved every minute of it. That is awesome. When I was a kid, we had a camper, so we did a lot of camping. Not a lot out of state. We did Florida and things like that, but I will say I love traveling in a camper because we could lay on the bed. I don't know, you're maybe not supposed to do that, so I shouldn't announce that. But, you know, or we could pull out the board games. A lot of times we traveled with my aunt and my cousins, and so we'd sit and play board games and things like that. And it would make the time of traveling sometimes, you know, in your boring states, like sometimes you're in cornfield land and flat areas, and it gets kind of boring. So it's a great time that you can pull out a big board game and set it on the table and have fun. Okay, so we've layered our piece of DSP over the top of our gray granite mat. We have Sea Secret here that we're using. How many of you love Sea Secret? I love Sea Secret, I will say that. Of course, I love Timid Tiger. That would be like my favorite of all the new in colors. And then it's hard to choose. I love the brightness of Strawberry Slush, but I love the Sea Secret, and I love the stamp pad I use in place of Memento. I didn't make my strips here very long of tear tape, but it works. Oops. But put it on there straight. See, I make all these mistakes when I stamp with you guys so that you don't make these mistakes at home. Hawaii is on your bucket list. Like I said, I was very fortunate to be able to go. So, but if you ever get the chance to go, take the opportunity and go on a catamaran and go watch the whales. It was pretty cool. That was probably my favorite part of the entire trip, was being on this catamaran. And you could tell that our tour guides were, you know, they just seemed like they were surfers. They're water people. They just had that vibe about them, and they were so laid back and fun and just really good tour guides and funny. So funny. We would have actually, had we not had to go to rehearsal dinner, we would have actually stayed and did the sunset one with them because it was such an amazing trip. So we got to actually see whales, and we got to, they took our catamaran up, and I got ahead of myself, you guys. You weren't supposed to glue your DSP down so you put your mountains down. Ugh, I hate when I do that. We'll work around it, but I hate when I do that. So anyways, the catamaran ride, they took us up to a boat that was doing shark encounters. Now, I did make my husband and my brother-in-law get their butts back off of the net and onto the boat so that, you know, the shark didn't think they were the chum and take a bite out of them. Okay, so first when you put your card together, see, I got talking, doing two things at once. I got to be careful sometimes. So I am layering these. One over this way. This one's got to go down here, so that one's got to go on second. So when I cut them, and hopefully I'll remember to do this when I cut your kits, I cut them a little bit differently. Yes, I cannot teach and talk at the same time. Oh goodness. I just come here to chit chat with you guys. That is what I do. Yes, we are card making and crafting together, but I come here to chit chat and socialize with you. Okay, we're gonna try this again. I'm only putting glue in the middle because I'm gonna have to cut some of this off. So when I cut this, I cut one where the bigger mountain was towards the right and the other one where the mountain was towards the middle. So there you go. So that your humps aren't, you know, they're separated a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to carefully try not to cut any DSP and cut a straight line. Oh, not too bad. So, like I said, learn from my mistakes. Put your mountains on your DSP first. And then put your DSP down. Wow, that got a little crooked, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we're gonna go with it before I make it any worse. Oh, I can hide it with trees though. Look at that, no one will know. So we've got some trees here. See, at least when I'm laughing at myself, I'm laughing with you guys versus when I'm at home and I'm just laughing at myself and they're all looking at me like, what's she laughing at? At home, I only have myself to laugh at. Here, I'm laughing with you guys. It's homemade, that's right. If they want Hallmark, they can go to Hallmark. This is handmade with love. Okay, so now the really cool thing about this, I was really excited about this. It doesn't take much to get me excited. So in the Scenic Adventure, they have the stamp set. It says, let thee begin. So this is actually one stamp. So you don't have to worry about lining up those words. And then journey or adventure fit right between. And so you guys are going to see, we're going to do two different colors here. So we're using Gray Granite and Misty Moonlight. So Stampin' Up! Made this really easy for us by putting this together like this for us. So we got let the blank begin. And I love that I can have two different colors without overcomplicating it. Like you can do this, you can use markers, you can use your markers to color it in and get different colors, but this just makes it really easy for all of us. Okay, so then we can put our sentiment on. So this could be let the adventure begin. It could be another birthday. It could be a graduation. You could make this card into whatever you want it to be. So there we go. We'll stamp our inside, I think. We'll just stamp a tree. We'll probably be stamping a lot of trees because they're so cute. I'm gonna not put a sentiment in just because I can use this for multiple things. So I'll use Old Olive here. I'm going to stamp full strength and then I'll stamp a second one right next to it, second strength. Oh, the storm is in Kakana now, so it's about an hour north of us. It didn't last long though. We got some gray skies, a little bit of wind, but we'll see if the temperatures cool off. Temperatures are supposed to be a little cooler, but to me they're still nice temperatures. 60s is still beautiful to me. So there we go. Card number 1 done. And don't forget your gems. So you could color, I would probably use the white ones, honestly. Or you could color them blue if you wanted to. Card number 2 will be, I don't think I planned it this way, but I think they're all lined up in the bag how I have them laid out, so we'll see. Look at all these dimensionals. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we made a joyful. So we've got a regular card base, right? I'm gonna bring in that trimmer. And we're gonna score, or not score, we're going to cut from the score line up here to the opposite corner. And you're going to cut that off, so now you have a diagonal. Bring in our bone folder. Then you have a strip like this, folded in half. We have our diagonal cut and another diagonal cut already, so we'll adhere those together. And we'll glue that onto our diagonal section on our card. I didn't use this DSP for anything, but it's still pretty, so you could always use that instead of the trees if you wanted to. I'm in love with the trees, so fancy layers, you are right, for Fancy Friday. So you'll layer this on top of your crumb cake, and then adhere this to the inside. Okay, then we have a piece of vanilla that I embossed with the birch. And here's that strip that was supposed to be cut for the scrapbook page, right? We're going to adhere a portion of this to the bottom of this piece. Which embossed side do I want? And we'll cut off the extra. And then this will get layered. On top of our crumb cake. And then this goes on the front of our flap here. Isn't that pretty? And then we're going to glue this right away. And you're going to center this, but I also like to, before I push it down, I want to make sure that my card folds right. So I'm actually going to move this up and over just a little bit so that it doesn't get caught when I open it. So our card opens like this and like this. Fun, right? So I'll bring in our tree again. And I'm going to use Mossy. Full strength, second strength. And I'm going to leave this one blank too because I feel like it says wander, wonder, and repeat. Like I might want to personalize this one a little bit. Hello, Miss Carmen. How are you? Happy Friday. Okay, so we have one more thing to put on, and that is a sticker. Oh, I was gonna put this little foot in there. Oops, I forgot. So I was gonna put this in the bottom of, I felt like I needed two to put it on a scrapbook page, and they only had one for us, so I didn't end up using it. So we're gonna take this sticker, we're gonna bring in that basic beige ribbon and put it through the hole here. And I love, obviously you guys can tell that I love it too because I keep using it. I'm gonna snip my ends, then I just tuck this onto the corner here. I'm gonna fold this little piece of twine in half, but make two pieces out of it. I'm gonna tie this around and I feel like this is gonna be a man card, so I didn't put much ribbon or bows. We're gonna try this again, guys, on here, and I'm just gonna tie this on in a knot. I'm not gonna make it a bow. But sometimes my fingers don't work with me. I need an extra pair of hands. Anybody want to be able to reach through the, oh my goodness. I thought putting it on here and sticking this label on here would make it easier for me, but apparently not. Are your hands all reaching in to help me across the screen here? Okay, I think I got it. I'm gonna slide it down. Phew, that was a lot of work. So I'm gonna tie it in a knot. There we go. Lift my sticker up. Pop it up. Pop, pop, pop it up. Mary, were you helping me through the TV? Okay, and I am not going to put this on here straight. I'm going to kind of put it on here tilted. And I don't mind that my ends are shredding on my ribbon. I think it gives it a little bit more of a masculine touch to it. Now I cut those really short. Now I gotta cut the other side again. There we go. So there is this card. Don't forget your gems. Da, 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 da. Fancy, right? I got another, ooh, almost took that little tree off. I got another little fancy fold. Not super fancy like that one, but we got a Z fold here. So we got it folded in half and then folded in half going this way. So we've got our cute little Z fold here. All right. Ooh, what should I put on the inside of this one? Let's see. Where's the other stamp set? Right here. I don't know. Should I put a mug there? I feel like I should put a mug. I want to use a mug. How's that sound? I was just thinking if I wanted to put a sentiment on the inside of it, or I think I'll just color it in with my Wink of Stella. And I'm putting it off to the left because we don't want to see it over on that side. And I think I'm going to bring my ink pad in and add just a little more color. So all I do is I take my Wink of Stella and just kind of dip it in. I love to color this way. This way it gives our mug just a little bit of, I don't know, coffee stains, I guess, or some texture. Okay, so we can glue this. So we've got some black here. Like that. And then this can go on the inside. My dimensional backs are sticking to my glue. There we go. So we've got some more layers. We've got our gingham here, checkered. I think Tyler would be very happy with these cards. This is definitely a Tyler set. And then we've got this one going like this. I wish I could get about 10 more sheets of this paper. I love this paper. Okay. Adhere this to our side panel. And then for this, we're going to add dimensionals, but remember, you only want to put dimensionals on half of this because we don't want it to show through when we open our card. And make sure your DSP is in the direction that you want it to go. Feet are going up, down, north is going that way. So then when we flip this over, we don't see our dimensionals, okay? So then, now the easy part. Bring our sentiment in, and this is actually from Trusty Tools. And then we have this piece here from the die cuts. I'm going to banner it. Okay, and then we are going to cut it in half. And you'll have a piece go on each side of your sentiment. Like that. Well, that does not look like it's lined up very good when you put it on like that. Okay, put that on the center of our black circle. And put that in the middle. And this card is done. Look at that. So there's Cajun Craze one and there's Calypso Coral. So you can use either one of those strips. Gem it up. Don't forget to do your envelopes. Okay. This one is just a super simple layout. Some clouds, a few birds, some mountains. Whoa. Stuff is sliding off. Okay, you're gonna have two pieces of white. One is for your inside, one is for the outside. The inside or the outside piece is smaller than the inside piece. You've got some basic beige and balmy blue. So we're gonna take and stamp some clouds. In balmy blue. We're gonna stamp them off. So just 3 clouds there. Now, if you don't have that stamp set, that's okay. If you have a different cloud stamp set, you could use that. You could just sponge some blue on here with your blender brush. Then I'm going to get my sentiment here and stamp Happy Father's Day. Because before we all know it, we're gonna blink and it's gonna be Father's Day already. Hard to believe we're halfway through May already. I'm always amazed at how fast time goes. You know, as a kid, they always said, oh, you know, time goes by so fast, and you know, you can never be 18 or 21 or 16 or your birthday or Christmas, whatever, fast enough. And as an adult, I will say I could use an extra few hours every day in my life. So I'm just angling the end there. And snip the end off here because I've got some extra. And bring that linen thread in. Put a little piece of tear tape on the back. And I just wanted to add a little bit of texture. So I am just wrapping this around here twice. We'll pop this up. Now, normally I would say put your, do all your stamping first, but in this case I want my birds to kind of go around my sentiment, and that is why I'm putting that on first. Now the bird that I'm stamping with comes from this stamp set called Sunrise Sailing. This one is an online exclusive, and here's our little bird here. So that's where I'm getting our bird from. Actually, I should put my mountain on. Hello, Sherry, how are you? Okay, I did take, I couldn't remember if I took them off or not. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to use my smoky slate, and I'm going to stamp one here and stamp one over here, second strength, and then I will bring one up here, full strength. So now we can adhere this to our mat. You're getting the storms that must have been passing through here not that long ago. I don't know if this is the same storm system. I guess I haven't looked at the weather. Does anyone know? Is this the same storm system? Is it like kind of covering a good portion of the country here, or are these two separate storms coming through? We just had some go through when I first got on, actually, and I know not that long ago it hit Kaukauna, which is about an hour north of us. But then I had heard Pennsylvania was getting it also, and I believe Polly had said that there were storms coming her way too. And I don't know how close you two live, but you're in the similar area. So it's the same storm, okay. So here we go. This card is really simple. You know, guys sometimes don't want all the extra frill. They're like, it's just a card, but it's got texture, it's got mountains that have this beautiful, I love that this die kind of leaves those marks and really gives those mountains some definition without it having to be stamped. So there we go. So we'll do our inside. So I've got Happy Father's Day. Maybe I'll bring in You're the Most Awesome. So the storms are supposed to be, I should say our storms are supposed to be in Vermont tomorrow. Interesting. Well, hopefully it's done for a while and we can all get outside and enjoy some nice weather. So I'm going to stamp this in balmy. And then those birds I will bring in and stamp a couple of birds. Now you could have put some stamped off clouds and stamped your sentiment in like smoky slate. That's another option too. Okay, I think we're gonna be on our final card. Holy smokes, I'm cruising today, you guys. Well, it's actually been 2 hours. I feel like I'm cruising, maybe because it's still daylight, and I think all of the other ones, it was starting getting dark out. So it's nice when it stays light like this out. So now for our final card, there are a bunch of these strips that are die cut. So we're gonna bring those strips in. So there's 3 of these kind of wood DSP with stripes on it, and then there was a coral and a green one, and I wanted both colors. I don't know why, but I like them together. So you could, there are 2 coral and there are 2 green, so you could use 2 of the same color if you want. Okay, and this is embossed with the birch folder. A piece of espresso. Let's see, I flipped them all over, gonna put all glue on. We'll see if I can make this really easy. And I'm not putting these on here straight. I'm going to put them on here crooked and higher and lower. I feel like that's easier to do than trying to make them all line up perfectly straight. So there we go, just like that. Don't have to be perfect. We're gonna use this beautiful, I love big, bold sentiments, and you're amazing. And I did put it on here crooked on purpose so that it all fits on here. So yes, it is a little bit crooked. On purpose. So what's for dinner for everyone tonight? Anything good? I made the kids some sloppy joes and just butter noodles. It was a quick, easy, as I did not have time to, I had 45 minutes when I got home from work to finish prepping some things for class tonight and make dinner before I had to go get the kids from school. and come straight here. Last thing you guys want to hear are hangry kids. Let me tell you, when they're hungry, they get cranky. I didn't realize that we were at a robotics tournament in spring, and my little guy, he's not so little, I keep calling him my little guy because he's my baby, but we were done. We didn't make it to the rest of the finals, but they were passing out awards, and Bella was up for an award, and he wanted to leave. He was done. He was, you know, the tournaments get to be a long weekend, but he just, can we go now? Can we go now? Blah, blah, blah. And it's driving us crazy, right? And finally we ended up leaving. The tournament was over, and he was so happy. And then we had a long ride home, so we ate first. And boy, I tell you, that was a totally different kid after I fed him. He was joking around and laughing. Totally not the kid that he was an hour before that. The kid before that, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my mind. Sherry, it was an easy night for you guys also. Called for 5 guys, and there is nothing wrong with it. I want my... All right, let's pull this up quick. I want my coral on the... Actually, I had an extra... You're supposed to use 6 pieces. I only used 5 on here. Ay, ay, ay. Anyways, but I want my coral over here so that when my trees are on here, the coral kind of helps them pop. So yeah, you should have had one more in there, but nobody will know except us, right? It'll be our little secret. I think I hear someone cutting their lawn right now, so it must have not rained too much, but it looked like it was pouring good out there. I hope you guys aren't sick of these trees. I love these trees. So we're going to put them here and add our sentiment. So I hope you guys enjoyed these layouts. I feel like it's kind of refreshing because this is something a little bit different than, you know, flowers, you know, geared more towards our guys, or outdoorsy camping if you're an outdoors, if you like to hike and do things outside. I really enjoyed playing with this set. And of course, we're going to put some more trees in here. My ink pad must be in need of re-inking. There we go. So we got some trees, and I think I am going to stamp Happy Father's Day on the inside, but I think I didn't clean this before. So we'll make sure that it's clean. There we go. I got a hot mess of dimensional backings. there we go. Whew, we did a lot. We did 6 pages, 5 cards. So I'll bring everything in. We got card number 1. Card number 2. Here, we'll flip this around. Card number 2, card number 3. Our fancy Friday fold here. Ta-da! And our nighttime scape here, so stars in the sky. So here are the 5 cards. So this is all of the extra cardstock, the die cuts are all included in your extra kit, plus your ribbon, your gems. I did not put gems on anything because I want to make sure that I have enough for kits. And I think I have just enough for kits. So I did not put gems on any of my things today. And then we'll bring in our 6 layouts. So it's layout 1, layout 2, layout 3, and 4, 5, and 6. And there's supposed to be some trees here, but like I said, I forgot to bring my die. Let me see if I can find the, here we go. This is what it's supposed to look like. There you go. It's got trees in it. Now, you have all of these stickers left that you could add different sentiments along with your pictures. Little blips like this. There's a coffee. I had thought about cutting these out and I never did, but I wasn't going to use the whole sticker, but I was going to cut out the little coffee pot and coffee mug. Some more journaling pieces. You have this long label. You have some wood banners. You have all of these little arrow pieces. So all these you could go in and just add some finishing touches. That's what I'm going to do when I get, probably not get home today, but that's what I'll eventually do. And I totally forgot to use all of these strips here that I could have put sentiments on. Completely forgot. So you have all of this left over, and you still have, I think there's a full sheet of Misty Moonlight two-tone cardstock that we didn't even touch, and you're still going to have DSP left over. You're still going to have two-tone cardstock left over. So there's still lots of leftovers. You could make a couple more layouts with this or make a bunch of cards. So I'm going to leave this open for orders yet until today's the 16th. So I will leave orders open until next week, Friday, which is the 23rd. So you have to place your order. So it's a $70 order. Either include this kit in with your order. If you have this kit already, you can add whatever that you need to that order. You do have to order it through me though, in order to get the additional kit. So you get the kit from Stampin' Up, but then you get an additional kit from me that includes cardstock, envelopes, ribbon, DSP, gems. So all sorts of those kind of goodies will come with. So I will probably kit this all up next week is my goal. I don't know when I'll get the tutorial done. I'm slow at tutorials. I will say that is the one part of this that I don't enjoy doing, is writing tutorials. And I think it's just that I'm sitting there and it's just time consuming and I'd rather be creating. So, so I have this, and I do have a few Card Buffet card kits left. So if anyone would like any of those, there's 6 cards. All 6 cards, I didn't bring them tonight, feature all of the new sets, either from the annual catalog or online exclusives. And let's see, what else do I have? So I have not finished the scrapbook page for this month. I plan on using unless inspiration takes me elsewhere. The trusty tools, I thought with Father's Day coming up next month, and I guess having done all of this, I'm kind of in a masculine mood, I guess. So we're going to do something with that. And then we have Morning Create. And then, like I said, next month for June, Technique class is going to be using the metallic rub-ons. I don't know how many of you have used rub-ons before, but they were a big thing when I first started scrapbooking. So I started scrapbooking about 20 years ago. So rub-ons were huge, and then they kind of just disappeared. So it's kind of fun. And there's just a small little blurb about them in the catalog, so you may have missed them. So check them out. Sherry, you're wondering if the mountains are part of the kit. They are not. They come with the Scenic Adventures. Oops, here we go. Stamp set, and there's dies that coordinate, and that's where the mountains and the trees came from. And that is something that I put in your kit, are the mountains and the trees. So that's where those came from. What else do I have for you? Oh, if you guys want to be a discount shopper, now is the time. So if you're not a demonstrator, but you have a big list now that this new catalog has come out and you want to get new ink colors or new stamp sets, now is the time. Stampin' Up! Is running a special just through the end of the month. $165 worth of product for $99. So you can pick anything that you want out for $165. They are going to give you free shipping. They are also going to put a paper pumpkin in there, and I think, don't quote me, I know they put some business supplies in there, so there might be some catalogs in there, and a few other things. So now is the time. So that's like getting a free bundle if you wanted a bundle. So you could stock up on cardstock, you could get bundles. Like I said, this is a great time to stock up on the ink colors. All the new ink colors are here. So great deal. It runs through the end of May. So I would love to have you be a discount shopper on my team. So that's going till the end of May. And then I think that's all I have for you guys right now. So let's see, is there anything? Sherry, best deal ever. Completely is the best deal ever. And you just discovered rub-on, Sherry. Oh my goodness. And Angelique, you have never used them. So guess what? That's what we're using. I don't know what page they are on in the catalog, but I think they are next to, they're either by the gems or the ribbons. So the gems are like, the gems of the ribbons are on the right side of the page, and then on the left side of the page is maybe a design of something, and then over tucked onto the left of the bottom of the page are the rub-ons. So they're kind of just randomly in there. They're not with anything, so you might have to search them out. So they come in silver and gold, and I believe there's 8 sheets in a pack. So you get 4 gold and 4 silvers. So like I said, we're going to play page 124. Thank you, Sherry. So we're going to play with that next month. So I got lots of designing to do, so I better get cracking here because, oh, I think I'm here next week. I got to take, my days are, I'm here actually, I think a week earlier. So I think I have Morning Create on Monday, and I might have the scrapbook class on Wednesday. So I think I have some creating to do this weekend. Because of the holiday, I know I'm here on Monday. I can't remember if I moved up the scrapbook class to the 21st or the 28th. I'll get back to you guys on that, but you can check the calendar for that too. So anyways, I hope you all have a fabulous weekend. Stay safe from the storms, and I will be here on Monday morning for Morning Create, 9 a.m. So I'll see you then. Thanks, guys.